Imagine walking through life with the unwavering certainty that you'll never walk alone. In Psalm 37:25, we find a declaration of unshakable faith that transcends generations. Even in the hardest times, the righteous are never abandoned, for divine provision is always within reach. Experience the power of a promise that ensures you will not be left in need or despair. Feel the assurance that comes with knowing your path is guided and your future secured. Let this divine promise infuse your life with hope and strength every step of the way.
I'm here today to talk to you about a few things that's close to my heart, especially this particular scripture, because I've been through those phrases. I was once young. I've been a teenager, been a young adult. I've been through the middle age crisis, and now I'm 74 years old. So I can truly say I was young and now I'm old. Yes, okay. Now I want to read a scripture to you that is a lot of people uh read it, and I think there are some things missing in what they really get out of this. It's from Second Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 8. We just gonna go through as we go through. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elijah, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and that the creditors come to take unto him my two sons, sons to be bondsmen. Now, what's so important about this, that's why I got to go through this step by step, about this particular scripture is that it says, hey, my husband, he done died. And you know he was a servant. And thou knowest that he did fear the Lord. So he wasn't one of these guys that was breaking the Lord's commandments. He wasn't running around. He wasn't cheating on his wife. He wasn't doing anything crazy. He just had a problem with money. See, everybody can't handle money. If everybody could handle money, there wouldn't be all the problem we have in the world today. Haven't you ever wondered why all these that you know more about them than anybody else, sports figures have all these millions and millions and millions and hundreds of $1 million worth of money and die broke because they don't know how to handle money. Okay, that's the main reasons, or that they got friends around them that swindled them and everything. But the main thing is they don't know how to handle money. So this guy loved the Lord, everything. According to what she said, he didn't do anything out of the way. He feared the Lord, so he wasn't breaking the commandments. He wasn't cheating. Wasn't committing adultery. He wasn't doing any of these things. He just didn't know how to handle money. How do we know he didn't know how to handle money? He says, because she said, because the creditors have come to take unto him my two sons, sons to be born bondsmen. And if you know anything about the old way they used to do things in the Old Testament times, and even after that, that if you couldn't pay your debts, you went into slavery to pay them off. And since the husband was dead, couldn't put him into slavery. And by him being a prophet, probably didn't want to do it anyway. But when he died, they went after the sons. They could put them into slavery till they paid the debts off. And she went to the to the light and said, "Hey, look, what am I gonna do?" Because wives back in those days, they didn't have any lots and didn't have any ways to make money to take care of themselves. The husbands took care of everything. They took care of them. So when the prophet came by, and Elijah said to her unto her, "What shall I do? You telling me this? Why are you telling me this?" Well, it said, now let me go back. He said, and Elijah said unto her, "What shall I do for thee?" I want to help you. My job is to help people. So what can I do for you? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, thy handmaiden have not anything in the house save a pot of oil, which tell you, homeboy really didn't know how to handle money. I mean, how do you go out in the world preaching and teaching the gospel and you got nothing in your house but a pot of oil? So him and money, they were not friends. Him and money seemed to be enemies. But nevertheless, Elijah wanted to teach us something that God's been trying to teach us all along. What to you would seem like a little, to me, I can make it a lot. How do we know this? In the New Testament, they said Jesus asked to feed the people. We're gonna feed the people. They want to know what you talking about. We ain't got enough money to feed all the people. And they gave him two fishes and 5 loaves of bread, and he fed 5,000 people. I mean, in reality, it was 15,000. It was at 5,000 men. So if you have one child for every man, one wife for every man, you got 15,000. Might not end up, but around 15,000. So then he said, go borrow these vessels abroad of all thy neighbors. Now, I don't know about you, but I know if I'm so far in debt and I got the creditors knocking on my door talking about taking everything I got because I'm in debt from borrowing, and then I go to my pastor and say, hey, look, this is my problem. How am I going to fit? Then you tell me go borrow some more money. I'm looking at you like something wrong with you. You don't bump your head. That's what got me into trouble in the first place because of borrowing money. Now you telling me to borrow something else, but because and here's the thing: sometimes you can be in such a situation that you got no choice. What else am I going to do? The creditor's already knocking on the door. I don't have time to go get no job and all that to fix this, even if I could. This issue has to be dealt with right now. So, as crazy as it seems that you want me to go borrow something else after borrow what got me in trouble, I ain't got no choice but to go do it. Okay. So, and he said, borrow not a few. You know, and what he said, no, go to all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. Get a lot of them. Get a lot of them. You gonna need them. Get a lot of them. And when thou art come in the house, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and thy sons, and shall pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. Now, when you come in the house, shut the door. Everybody don't need to know what you're doing. A perfect example is when Joseph told his brothers about his dream, and then they wanted to kill him and all that. But now the whole thing of it is, if we really look at it, even though we say he shouldn't have did it, and it got him in trouble, it was still all a part of God's plan. Because what did Joseph tell him? You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Because they hated him so much, they were going to kill him, put him in a hole that didn't have no water in it. None of this stuff. So the Midianites came by, they sold him into slavery because they was going to kill him, but they said, hey, he ain't getting no money out of that. We got to get some money. So let's get some money. And you know what? I guarantee the money didn't last them a few days. So they had to spend it all up. Because you got money that you don't work for to get, it don't last long. But anyway, he got sold into slavery. Now, the purpose in him getting sold into slavery, see, I know I'm getting, but it's all in the same place. Just follow me. The purpose of him getting sold into slavery because was the baby boy, had never ran nothing, was never in charge of nothing, didn't know none of this stuff. So God put him in a place that put so much favor on him that he could now be in charge of something. Now, where he was in charge at, he could be in charge. Why? Because they were slaves like himself. They had to do what he said to do. So, along with the favor, now he's learning If I get them to do this, this will work. If I get them to do this, this will work. He's learning how to be in charge, how to orchestrate stuff, how to get the best out of people. But even then, they had to do what he said do. So God said, okay, you got your initial education. Now I need to educate you even further. I need you to work with people that don't have to do what you say do. How do we know this? Because then the wife lied on him and he got put in the prison. Now he's in prison with all these people that are murderers, rapists, thieves, liars, adulterers, backbiters. I mean, he in there with all these that don't have to listen to a thing he say do. But because of the favor on his life, they put him in charge. And the people could see there was something so special about him that they went along with the program because things was got better by him being there. So they went along with it. So now he could get people to do what he said do, even though they didn't have to. It's still so now he's being prepared to run a kingdom. Only God could do that. Now we go back to the widow woman. So she don't shut the door. She ain't told nobody what she doing. Just her and her son, so they can get a handle, so they can learn in the future. Now you got to understand this. They was there. What did Mama do to fix the problem? Went to God. In this case, the man of God who's in direct connection with God. We should learn to go straight to God. So what she's showing them, this is what you do when you get in trouble. And when you get in trouble, follow the instructions being given you. And what the instructions they heard, shut the door. Once you bomb, go take the vessel now, shut the door. And when the vessels are full, put them to the side and pull up a new one. So she went from him, shut the door upon her and her sons, who had brought in the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass when the vessels were full that she said unto her sons, bring me to yet a vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more, and the oil stayed. Now, it got good to her. You ever hear them say when they playing sports that they in a zone? She was in a zone now because she pouring and filling, because she don't got this. But they say, hey, hold up, ain't no more. That's it. It's done. And they say the oil stayed. In other words, once it was accomplished what was supposed to be accomplished, there was no reason for the oil to keep being poured, to keep being filled. So now the oil stayed. Now, what do I do after this? Now, here's the thing. Then she came and told the man of God. Now, you got to understand this. See, sometimes we don't know how to operate in the spirit realm. I done did what I was supposed to do. Some people just want to sit back and chill. Now, no, let me go, let God know that I followed his instructions to the letter and see what else he wants me to do. That's what she did. She came and told the man of God and said, go and sell that after she done told him that she done did it what he said to do. What done happened? He said, okay, cool. And he said to her, go, sell the oil and pay the debt and live, and thou and thy children all of the rest. Now, we got to understand something here. First thing he said, do, he didn't tell her to go shopping, buy new clothes, got new furniture, fill the refrigerator with food, none of that stuff. And this is where so many poor people make their mistake. When they get a whole bunch of money, instead of them taking care of business, they go out and do everything first. But he said, no, you go pay your debt first. Get that out of the way, pay off your debts, get that taken. Now, after you get your debts taken care of, you can live off the rest. Now you can go shopping for the food to put in the house. Now you can go buy you some new clothes. If you need a car, get a car. Whatever you need to pay your home. I mean, you don't pay it off the home. You took care of that. So now you can do those other things, but you can't do those first and don't pay the debt. because the debt's still there if you don't pay it. Now the money gone, how you gonna pay the debt? That's where too many of us make our mistake. But he told her, pay your debt first, then go ahead and take care. Say, Aki, why are you telling us this story? Remember, I went through this from the first beginning. I told you I was young, I was a teenager, I was a young adult, I was a middle age. Now I'm 74 years old, so now I can say I'm old. And in all that time, Psalms 37:25 says, I was once young, now I'm old, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread. How do we know that? We just seen it. Even though he messed up the money, didn't know how to handle money, but because he was a righteous, he told you he feared God, he was a righteous man. This was his seed that was going to get put into prison. I mean, slavery. But what happened? God didn't forsake them. He fixed it where they didn't have to go out begging. They didn't have to go out doing wrong. They didn't go out robbing nobody because of his faithfulness. The Bible declares, if you faithful for a few things, I'll make you ruler over many. He was faithful. He just didn't know how to handle money. One of these days, we as men gonna figure this thing out. I had to help a couple out with this before also. Because we're in that mindset, because we the men, we just gotta handle the money. But if you don't know how to handle money, and here it is your wife handling finances, money all over the place, doing great on her job with money, why is it that you still want to handle the money when she's the one that's been gifted to do that? Because of what? You demand that? That don't make any sense. If you let her handle it, then you're gonna be straight. You won't be in debt. You won't be in all the trouble you in. But as long as you got that crazy mindset, because I'm the man, I gotta handle money. If I don't know how to handle money, you're gonna be always in debt. Now, how do we know we're supposed to listen to women sometimes? Because what did God tell Abraham? Listen to your wife Sarah. That's what God said. I ain't saying God said, listen to your wife Sarah, do what she told you to do. See, sometimes I know it to be true because see me, I'm one of those people. Let me get it done. I'm moving. Snap. I'm in a hurry. I gotta get this thing so I can move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. And sometimes my wife got to pull my coattails and say, "I hold on, hold on. Did you read this? Did you check this all the way through, or did you just glance at it? Look what it says here. Man, I ain't see that. And I would have blew it if I hadn't listened to her. Are you starting to get the picture? If he would have let her handle it, it might not have been, but then we wouldn't have had the story. Okay. So now we find out that, remember what I said earlier, we're going to learn to take things to God because some reason we just want to do it the way we do it. Let me use my man Samson. Hey, he one of my favorite characters in all the Bible. Because Samson had a problem with women, and so did I. So I ain't gonna lie. I had, boy, look, they look good. That was it. I was in, done. That was it. I don't pass. It looked good. That was Samson deal. And when he didn't want nothing to do with his own women, and that's a whole nother video I'm gonna do on that. But he just wanted these fast. My wife used to call them fishtail gals because they be switching so much. Fishtail, he used to call them that. But anyway, so Samson didn't want to do with his women, so his own women. So he went out into the Gentile world, gonna mess around with these other women. And so he gave them a riddle that they couldn't solve, and they was hot about it because they couldn't see how this Hebrew smarter than they is. Same way white people do us. They can't see how we smarter than they is. They get all bent out of shape because they always thought they was better. That's what these people thought they was better than the Hebrew. So anyway, they couldn't. So they threatened his wife that if you don't give us the riddle to this thing, we gonna kill you, your father, the whole house, and everything. Instead of her, now as full I go to criticize her about this. Think about this now. Who was the strongest man in the world at this time? Samson. Who done killed a lion with his bare hands? Samson. Who did the Philistines fear more than any other man on the face of the earth at this time? Samson. Who was running around here killing 1,000 of men at one, by himself at once? Samson. Without any sword, shield, with a jawbone out. Samson. So instead of her, I don't know about you, but me, I'd have went and told Samson, hey, Samson, look, they threatened me. I mean, he loved her so much, he would have told stuff. But instead of her going and telling the person that could do something, she tricks him to help them. And he gets upset about it. Same way we do God. Instead of us go telling God about it, we want to go tell mama, sister, brother, cousin, everybody else, but who should know about it except God, the one person that can fix it. Samson could have fixed it. God can fix it. But we too busy running around telling everybody else. So, which is how the widow woman got help. She didn't go tell the whole world her problem. She went and told the man of God with the connections to God. And what did he do? Fixed her problem. One of these days, we as people are going to figure out, instead of letting the whole world know our situation, take it to somebody that can fix it. Because all we do when we tell the world is they're going to tell the world, they're going to tell the world. And we want to know how our business got out. We told them. Now, and God has said, what did David say? Never, never seen the righteous forsaken, nor the seed begging bread. Because the righteous know what to do. They know who to go see. They know who to talk to. What does Samson do when he lost his eyes and they was making fun of him, turn him into a clown, and just oh man, just made him despise. He went to God. So God, listen, I know I messed up. Ain't nobody got to tell me I messed up. But if you would strengthen me this one last time, this one, I ain't asking to live through it. I ain't asking you to survive through it. All I'm asking you to strengthen, because let me die with my enemy, because I want to avenge what they did to me. I don't like it. I want to fix the problem. And God empowered him to die with his enemies, because he went to somebody that could do something about it. Because talking to the walls wasn't going to do nothing about it. Talking to the Philistines wasn't going to do nothing about it. Mom and dad can't do nothing about it. But God could and did do something about it by pounding the door. We got to understand, my brothers and my sisters, when God, what it says in the New, I will never leave you nor forsake you. If you just trust and depend on me, I will be with you even to the end of the age. We got to understand that God is God all by himself. He don't need nobody. He's the great I am. He sit high and look low, he judge all things. He's that bridge over that troubled water. He's that doctor in the sick room, the lawyer in the courtroom. He's the balm in Gilead. He is the healer and the deliverer of all those who he loved that love him. You know, God is so awesome that you know what? He has decided a long time ago that you belong to him. Even when I was out there in my sin, doing all kind of wrong, trying to help the devil kill me, he had a plan for my life that he was going to heal me, deliver me, and bring me to himself. But it said nobody can come to Jesus unless the Father draw him. So he knew he was going to draw me to Jesus. And one day I was going to say yes, and I did. So he kept me until he could deliver me from the hands of the enemy. And because I went to him and I say, you know, when the lady at the well asked for that drink of water, so did my soul scream to heaven, give me a drink. Because for the first time in my life, I realized what was wrong with me. I was chasing the things of this world that could never fill me, never give me what I needed, never give me joy, never give me peace, never give me happiness. All it did was keep me wanting to go back for more and more and more and more and more and more. But if I could drink this water, I would never thirst after the things of this world again. Now I could become one of God's children. Now I could become one of his righteous. Now, when I leave this earth, I can know that my seed will never beg bread. Why? Because he will never forsake the righteous. Now, not because I'm righteous, because the righteousness of Jesus, because I'm a blood washed, blood covered one of his children. That when God look at me, he don't see the sin. All he sees is the blood that covers my sins. I'm here today to tell you, my brothers and sisters, we got to learn to stop depending on our own self and depend on God and what he's done for us, what he's going to do for us, what he always will do for us. Why? Because we are his children. Every good gift, every perfect gift come from the God above. Don't you know how much he loved you? He loved you so much that he gave his only begotten son. You might not only have life, but have it more abundantly if you just trust and depend on what the works of Jesus Christ did on Calvary. Listen, we got to stop giving all the glory to the devil. God got to get his glory. He gets his glory out of my life. I did enough for the devil. Let me do for God because of what he's done for me. Listen, God bless you. God keep you. And God watch over you.